So here is our recording of how to make a roof. So I have walls and all that kind of stuff, and I'm going to go to my roof, and here's the one right over here. See that? Defines slope. That has to have a check mark in it. Otherwise, it'll be a flat roof. Okay? So that's the one that does it right there. And then when I come and pick these, you'll see this funny little thing that says that it's got a slope to it. See, those all have that funny little thing that says slope. There it is. And then you can actually change the slope right there. I don't care what your slope is. Okay. Then the other thing is if you accidentally erase that, that's going to be a zero slope. So it could be that somehow you got that to like zero. Okay. Okay. And then well, so look, if I undo the box, now let's see, where did it go? See, now that I've oh, there it is. Now it moved over here. If I uncheck it, that thing goes away. And if I check it, it comes back. And there's another place where you can do it. See, it's they give it to you all over the place. So it's like there it is there too. So it should define a slope. So make sure that that's checked. And then something should show up. Now it could be that it's kind of funny. Like, have you looked at it in your 3D view? Okay. Huh. Um. Then the do you see these lines that look like this? Just the okay. Huh. Okay. That's really interesting. Well, that's what it is. And if you go to edit it, it's that pick a line and make sure it says to define the slope. And then I don't care what your slope is. Um, you can leave it alone as what is always there. And it just comes out with a steeper roof, and who really cares how steep, it's just kind of neat to be able to know that you can kind of work with it. So, but that's how you do it. And so you can give that another try, and then you can catch me this afternoon or something if that is having an issue. If you can't get the roof done, just get everything else done. It's not like the major thing in the whole world. So, no, no, no. Yeah. Or you'll have a flat roof. It's okay. You got a flat roof on your house. Those exist too, right? So, are you making sure that you do this green check mark. You have to do the green check mark to finish. Yeah. Does it kind of look like that all the time? Okay. Do the green check mark. Okay. It's it's the green check mark. As soon as you do the green check mark, your roof will watch this. Bink. It appears. And if I edit it, it goes back to look like that. So this green check mark, and it's the same way with the floor. You have to do the green check mark or it won't let you get on to the next thing. There we go. We got it. Okay. Okay, yep, green check mark. And so you might like be over here and you go, "Where's the green check mark? I don't see it." There's this there's this little green arrow up thing at the top that says modify roofs and edit the footprint. You have to get back and click on that to get to where you can do the green check. Like I can go click all these other things and my green check mark goes away. And then I have to get back and go, where did it go? Where's my green check mark? I'm telling you, the first time I used Revit, it took me 8 hours to make one horizontal HVAC duct. It's just not the most friendly common thing ever. Um, but that's so you have to go, oh, click on the modify again and then say you're done. It says, you can't see it, but it says finish edit mode. Okay, click. Well, you have an amazingly good roof, I bet. So, yep, there we go. Okay, so that's good. Are there any other questions right now? Okay. Okay. And look, if you get that one done, you're almost done. Click 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 on these things, get something, who cares, right? Put any kind of a floor in there. It doesn't matter what kind of a floor you put on. I absolutely don't care. I just want you to click on things and know that they exist because in your design courses, we'll teach you about the design. And in this class, almost nobody, you're not going to be really working with this. So, like, if you're working on interior design, you're going to be, you know, looking here and putting kitchen stuff in, or um, maybe you'll be back here working on a clean water tank. Or I worked with one guy, and if you're interested, I can help you work on it. Um, he made water walls that was the thermal control for the house. So he worked for Play. He was Playley. What was his first name? I don't remember, but he was an architect with Playley Architects in Davis, and they made water features. That's what they did. And he would put a water feature in each room that was like hooked to a well or hooked to the solar on his roof. And so he either had hot water trickling down a wall in his house, or he had cold water being pumped up from like 30 feet deep that was cold. And he used it to heat and cool the houses. And it was beautiful because he was like this artistic architect. um, and it was just gorgeous work, and it was really cool. And he worked with me because I was a pump guy at the time, and I was just trying to figure out the early parts of Revit and the later parts of of AutoCAD at the time. So this was like in 2004 or 5 I started working with him, and by 2010 he was into Revit. And I haven't worked with him for years, but it was really cool. I was his pump guy. And, and it was just awesome. He'd always say, "Okay, I got this goofy idea, but it was gorgeous work." So you might be working in here and you can use whatever program you want. You can use SketchUp or Revit or AutoCAD, but I'm not interested in the walls for this class. I'm interested in what you're going to do with the landscape. Are you going to put in a vegetated swale to help clean the water? Are you going to put in rain catchments and a cistern to do something with water? Are you going to put in a UV station to help, you know, clarify water? So we're going to be focusing on water. So unless you're going to make a water wall, I don't really care about the walls and the doors and the roof so much. You're going to be given something and then start working with it. Cool? Oh, the tankless water heaters? They are. And because I lived in that world for a while, I'll tell you that many people, almost every place, does it poorly, especially residential. Because what you really want to do is have a water heater, but set your water heater for 60 or 70 degrees. So you get very little loss out of your water heater, because then you only need a 30 or 40-degree rise and it's always the same. The problem with the tankless water heaters is it no matter what your incoming water is, it's got to get it to 120 degrees. So there sometimes it works great and sometimes it doesn't. Whereas if you precondition with a smaller water heater that can always keep you feeding your tankless point of use at, say, 60 or 70 degrees, you always have 45 or 50 degrees to come up, and you can do that easily versus trying to come up 70 degrees or 80 degrees or 90 degrees because your incoming water is so cold. So I can help you work with those. I know all about them because that's what I learned how to do in hotels. That's what hotels do. And because they're more efficient. And you can imagine in a hotel, everybody wants all their hot water all at once. And so water tanks don't work that well. So these tankless water heaters in hotels work great. And I have never gotten a local planning commission to figure this out yet. It's so bizarre, but you might be able to. Who knows? Anyway, cool. All right. Any other questions before I open it up to others? Okay. Well, that's cool. All right. So I've opened up to demonstrations. If anybody needs a demonstration about one of the things that's due or should be done. And I've already told Janice, she asked, "Where are the videos from Wednesday?" And I said, "Oops, they're 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 sitting right here. Oops. I'll get those up. Sorry about that, folks. I don't know. I forgot them. Imagine that." Um, so does like Alejandro, do you have questions, or Leah or Jake? Does anybody have a how-to question that goes with what we've got going on? Yeah. So you just need a how-to on the roofs again? Okay. Okay, then that's what I'll do. So I'm going to start a new file because this one's got tons of stuff in it. So here we go. I'll do a new Revit. And remember, I use the architectural template. And I am recording still. And so on my level 1, I'm just going to do a real simple one. I don't even really care. Oops, I'm going to make my walls a wall. And I'm going to set my wall up to level 2. And I'll make it brick. I don't care. There's a brick. And I don't even care how big I make the building for right now because I'm just going to give a demo. And you know that you would put in some windows and doors and windows. Okay, so here we go. All right, there's the roof command. Okay, if you've got your properties on, you'll see the ribbon. There's build, and about halfway across the build section, there's roof. And I'll click the arrow and I'll do roof by footprint. Roof by footprint. Click. And it asks me, do you want it on level 2? Yes, I want to put it on level 2. Now, here's the thing. There's a few things. Okay. When it just comes up, there's this thing over here called pick walls. So there's the X and the check mark. And then right next to that, there's boundary lines and slope arrows. And then there's your drawing tools. And I can draw whatever roof I want, but I'm suggesting that you pick walls. Pick walls. So I'm going to make sure that that's showing. Yep. Understanding what? Well, if you watch the video, you'll be able to follow at a pace that'll do that. So what point are you at? So what point are you at in your notes? Okay. Well, then what I'm going to suggest, Jake, is that you watch the videos and you take the notes from the videos. Well, it's no different than this, Jake. So I'm doing a demonstration now, and you can listen, and I'm giving you super concrete directions. Yeah, so it's the roof command. Okay, so you go to the roof command, and then you do next to the check mark. You go over 1 to the slope arrow, and you go over to pick walls, and make sure that pick walls is on. And so, Jake, just so you know, you can ask for a note taker that can take notes really fast. And that's something that you have the opportunity to ask for. Everybody in the class can ask for a note taker. And that would be a great suggestion. Many, many people ask for a note taker. And that's a great thing. Okay, so there's pick walls. And then I have to make sure it says define slope. And I'm blinking on where it is. Yeah. After what? You pick the walls. And I'm telling you all the things that you have to do. You make sure that your pick wall is on. You make sure that define slope is on. And you go to the overhang and make it 2. Okay? So you do all of those things. Pick wall, define slope, overhang equals 2. And then you pick your walls. Click, 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 click. And then, this is Janice. Here's the important part. Green check, right? So I'll say that one over again because that one's not obvious. To be done, you have to do the green check or it's just stuck there forever. Now, I can't see it because I'm not in the right view. So I'm going to show you view, 3D house, and there it is. There's my roof. Okay, so now, Jake, I'm going to go to the Jamboard and I'm going to write down those directions for you. Okay, so here's a new Jamboard. Roof command. Then what comes next? Pick walls. On. Then what comes next? Find slope. Checked. Then what comes next? Overhang. 2 feet. Okay, so that's what you do. You go from there to there to there to there. So there's your notes. Then what do? Click on each wall. Green check mark when all walls are picked. There we go. Anyone with the link can view that. And it's in the chat. There we go. So that's probably a useful thing. And then let's see, what else do we need to do? Let's go ahead to the Revit and do a make roof command. And take a snip. Oops, I have to save that. This doesn't work the way you think it does. You have to save as. There's my 320. And now I can add that. Here's the image. Upload, browse for it. So see how all this works? Where is it? 320. It's not in there. Down in my spring 2020. Do you guys have this much stuff on yours? Mine's just like, is that the one I just did? There we go. I'm going to make this big. Okay, so now watch. This part is right here. And this part didn't come out very well, but it's right here. And your overhang is right here. I didn't do a very good image. And this part is right here. There we go. So now you guys can get to that, and that'll help you figure out where everything is and how it works. Okay? So, Jake, hopefully that helps. There's some notes that will help. Beep, 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 beep. But you are allowed to get a note taker, and those things really, really help. Okay. Any other questions on that? Leah, did you have any questions on how to do any of the work? Okay. Alejandro, how about you? Everything looking okay? Okay. Well, that sounds pretty good then. Then, whoops, wrong one. Over to here. Where'd my stuff go? There it is. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and stop the